So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click this tab here. Click this tab here, and you're going to start your free trial. Now, you might have heard people telling you that you get 14 free days. I don't know what up, but you get 90 now, so that's a good thing. Take advantage of that. So, so you would fill in your email address. So, Kevin@shopify.com. Obviously, would not really be my email address. This is an example. You'd put in some kind of password here, and you would make a store name for yourself. Maybe mine is Kevin's Fine Arts. Oops. Okay, so you fill in this information, and then you would click create your store. Now, I don't want to actually do that because I don't want to make too many bogus accounts through Shopify, and also it's not a real email address. But so basically, you would click this, and it would take you to a screen, and it would ask you a bunch of questions after that. It would say things like, just to get a profile on you, it'll ask you questions like, do you already know what it is you want to sell? What's your current revenue like? And you answer those questions. I believe they're optional, in fact. And then you would click next, and then it asks you to fill out your contact information, which you have to do in order to run a business online. And then when you submit that, then Shopify creates your store. So once you submit all that information, Shopify creates your store, you will see, waiting, you'll see something that looks, hopefully, like this. So this is the name of our store here. It's just VMP demo. Obviously, you wouldn't choose a name like that. And these are your main features going down the left. And there's a whole bunch of them here as well. Important things under online store. This is the actual building features here. So we have to do is there's a lot of preliminary stuff that you have to do kind of in the background before you can actually get to the fun part and start filling in your store, start building it. So when you go to the home page, they give you 3 quick links. One of the things they give you right off the get-go is the ability to add a domain, because if you remember from our demonstration, we strongly recommend that you have a domain name. Shopify will give you a subdomain. It'll be your username.myshopifyithink.com. You don't want to do that. You want to be real, so you can click this tab, and you can either connect an existing domain if you've already purchased something off GoDaddy or one of the domain registrars, or you can buy one through Shopify. There's this little tab right here. So that's really important. You don't have to do it right away, but do it before you go online. Do it before you actually launch the site. Here's where you customize the theme. By default, they're going to give us something called debut, I believe, but we're going to pick our own theme. And the other thing they can let you do right off the get-go is add a product. And so what you see here, it says add another product. It says that because I've already built this store and I've already been sort of playing around with it. So it's saying add another product. You'll see something that says something like add your first product or something to that effect. So let's do that. Let's take you through those steps. So when you click that, we'll add our first product right now. So the notes here. So first you give your product a title. Now, I'm going to assume for this demonstration that I'm an artist and I do paintings for a living, and I want to sell my paintings. So this first one is going to be called Mountain Landscape. And for the description, breathtaking mountain view. Oops. And that's a typo. Doesn't matter because we're just kind of playing around. Okay. And there's all kinds of you're probably familiar with these, like in Microsoft Word, your word editing tools here. So we can highlight this, we can bold it, we can italicize, all of that standard stuff. And you can even add a photo. I wouldn't recommend doing that, and I don't even really know why they do that, because you really want to add your media down here in this next pane. This is where you add the photos of your product. So let's assume back like when we had our demonstration and we talked about taking good quality photos. Let's assume you now have some photos of your mountain painting. So you would click Add File, and just like when you're on Facebook and you're adding pictures of your kids on Facebook or something, it takes you out to your computer and you navigate to the folder on your computer where you find the files. So it already knows to go to this particular folder, and I want landscape mountain.jpg. I'll say open, and it will add that to my media for this painting. And there you go. And as you can see, I didn't really paint that. This is a stock image, but we'll leave the watermark on, so we're allowed to use it for a demonstration. And then what we recommend is, of course, is that you use multiple images. So maybe show a picture of the painting full on, like I did here. Maybe you want one showing it in a frame, and then maybe you want one different angles hanging on the wall. It's a really good idea to do that. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to put the one picture up. So then we move on to the pricing. So what do we want to sell this painting for? Well, let's say this is worth $100. And this is kind of a neat feature, and I believe this is what Matt LeBlanc was doing. You can say compare at price. So let's say we were originally selling this piece for $200, or it was being sold for $200, and we want to cut the price on this. So let's say we wanted $200 for this piece. So later, when we take a look at the preview, we're going to see that it was $200. Now it's $100. This is a smoking deal. Get in on this now, folks. So the cost per item. So basically, this is what your profit margin is going to be. So now, if we were drop shipping, or dealing with a reseller, you'd have some sort of wholesale price for this product. So maybe you paid $50 for the painting, you're selling it for $100, so your profit would be $50. Now, in this case, since it's our own original work of art, there's not like a reseller component, but maybe this is still something you want to do. I don't know, maybe it costs us $20 for the frame. So this is still an expense, right? This is still an expense for us to have this ready for sale. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to make an 80% margin on it if we sell it for $100 or an $80 profit. We'll charge tax on the product. So I don't know how they look, something like this. Track quantity, yes. Continue selling when out of stock, no. I wouldn't say, because this is more like if you're selling a product with multiple copies of the product, maybe once you sell out, you want to keep selling, and then you can sell it like as a back order. But these are original works of art, so there's only one, so you can't sell it afterwards. Quantity available. There's only one, so we'll say one. If there was more, you could put more in there. Shipping, it's a physical product, meaning it's not like a digital file that you're going to email to somebody. So for the weight, 5 pounds. Let's say 5 pounds anyway. Country of origin, you're going to say Canada, because you live in Canada. Province, we'll say Nova Scotia. Okay, so variants. Now, in this particular example, we probably don't have any variants because it's an original work of art. It's a one-off. It's a one piece. So there wouldn't be multiple variants. But interestingly enough, when I was rehearsing for this, I was going to give the example. Let's say you were selling T-shirts. Well, interesting. We had a caller come in earlier. David said that he was planning on possibly selling T-shirts along with his works of arts. So it was going to be my sort of side example. If you had something like T-shirts, you might have variants. So this product has multiple options. So, you know, t-shirts, well, you might have various colors. So you could choose color as your variant, and you would put in whatever color variant you have. Maybe you have a t-shirt in red, t-shirt in blue, et cetera, and so forth. And you can add another option as well. So maybe you can sell variant colors, and you can also sell variant sizes. So you can have more than one, different combinations and permutations. And also down here, you remember that we had set the price at $100. Wow, $100 t-shirt. Well, we're really talking about paintings, but when we set the price for 100, well, maybe the red one is 120 and the others are 100. So you can set specific prices for your different variants. So it's just a good idea. I just wanted to show you that you can set different variants if you're not selling paintings, if you're selling something like t-shirts or clothing instead. Let's get back on the track with the paintings. So I'm going to take that out. And then down here is your website SEO. So per our demonstration of the first half, we talked about the importance of search engine optimization. So when somebody is doing an organic search, they want to find, well, you want them to find your product so that they can go to your store and buy it. So by default, it's going to pull all of the information that you recorded for your store, mountain landscape and particularly mountain view. By default, it's going to pull it in for what your Google is going to display as your search result. Now, maybe you want that a little bit more beefed up though, for when people find you on Google, so they know exactly what it is. Because if they do a search and it comes up and it says mountain landscape, they might think, well, that's just a picture of a landscape. I wanted to buy a landscape. So you can add a little bit more to that. You can say, portrait, I don't know, portrait for sale. And I got a typo and it doesn't matter. So you can beef up your SEO a little bit for what you see in your description on your Google search page. But same with the description, beef that up a bit, add a little bit more to that, but don't put too much. Don't put War and Peace, just put a little bit more descriptive information. And for your URL, it'll automatically assign you based on the name of your product. So the slug, as some people call it, I think that's a terrible name. I prefer the friendly URL is mountain-landscape, and that's fine. And then you can come up here, and so the product type is painting. By the way, it only remembers this because that's Google Chrome being friendly with me and remembering everything that I had done previously. You would type in the word painting, and your vendor, again, there's no reselling here, there's no supplier, so we're just going to say VMP demo, that's our store. And okay, so collections. So there's kind of two ways to do collections. You can do it this way, where if your collections are already set, when you're adding products like we're doing now, you can go in at this step here and say, now that I have this product, this gorgeous picture of this mountain view, I want to add it to a collection. Which collection do you want to add it to when you tell it which collection you want it to reside in? We don't have collections yet, so we're going to do it the other way. When you're adding collections, vice versa, after you set all the parameters for that up, it's going to say, do you have any products you want to add to the collections? So we'll do it that way. We'll set our products up, and then when we're adding our collections, we will eventually add this painting to one of our collections. So in other words, we leave that blank for now. So we're going to save this first product. And again, I know I'm moving fast, but we can answer any questions later. You can watch the video later, and once you try it for yourself, you see it's really, really intuitive. It's really, really easy and straightforward. So I'm going to add one more image very, very quickly, just to prepare for what we need later on. And I already have a bunch added to speed things up. So we're going to create another image. That's mountain landscape. I'm going to do another landscape painting that I did. Not really, but pretend I did. I'll call this one forest landscape. I'm just going to run through it very quickly this time. So forest landscape. Media I will do very quickly. So again, I'm navigating. I'm going to find my landscape forest picture, add that. Typically, I would have more. I would add those in as well. This one's more expensive. I want $125 for this one. And all of the other things that we mentioned, you know, if there was a your SKU number, something like that. One available, physical product, weight, pounds, Canada, Canada, Nova Scotia. Oops, there it is. No variance, skip that. SEO, again, make sure you do a proper SEO setup. And it's also a painting, and it's also VMP demo. And we'll add our second picture. And I think I filled in everything that I have to fill in order for this to work. I did that kind of quick, but it's in there. So now we have 2 products added to our store. We actually have 6 because I had 4 already. So just to move down very quickly, down this product list. So here are the 6 products we have added. These are all paintings that we're going to say that I did and I'm going to sell online. There's one in stock for each one because they're, like I said, they're original works of arts. And same type, same vendor. Inventory is very similar to products. It just gives you a little bit more information on the product. You can click here, and in doing so, I can go in and I can edit any of the information I added, so I can change, you know, I can change the price, or I can change anything I want from the editing. Shows me my SKU, indicates that I'm going to stop selling as soon as I sell it. I don't have any other copies of it. And then the other thing you can do with the inventory management component is, again, of course, we only have one, but let's say we had 3 of this painting to sell. Well, you can add 2 more like that, save it, and now I have 3 copies of this painting that I can sell for whatever price. I'm just going to set that back to 1 copy. All right. Okay, transfers, I'm going to just kind of skip that. Okay, collections. When I added the first product, I said we can add that to collections, or when we build our collections, we can add products. So let's do that now. So we're going to create our first collection. Landscape collection. Okay, the landscape collection, paintings inspired by Cape Breton landscape, and don't worry about the typos. Because it's a small store, we're just starting out. It's, you know, it's a small, simple thing for now. It's going to be a lot easier just to manually add our collections. That's what we want to do. Again, SEO, beef up your SEO and do what is going to be appropriate, what you want your visitors to find in their organic searches, something appropriate for your landscape collection. And we're going to add an image. We're going to add, like Facebook calls it, an album cover. So we're going to add like an album cover to that. So we'll add image. Now, it doesn't have to be one of the images that you're selling. It can be anything you want, but I'm just going to use one of our sales images. So I'm just going to use the mountain landscape image again. And that's kind of part 1, and I'm going to save that. Okay, so now that I've created my first collection, it's going to ask for products. And here's where I'm going to go in, and I'm going to say, yes, I would like to add some products to my collection. It's my landscape collection, so I want my 2 landscape paintings. I want my forest landscape and my mountain landscape to be part of this collection. I'm going to say add, and that should be that. Now I'm going to create another collection. I'm going to do this super quick. So we did the landscape collection. Now let's do a portrait collection. Description, manual again, SEO. Make sure you do that. We'll add an image for our portrait collection. We'll add this kind of stylized portrait here. Save that. We now have 2 collections created. Before I go any further, it's going to ask if I want to add any products to this collection. I do. I want to add the female portrait and the lady portrait. And now I've added 2 portraits to the second collection. Okay, one last collection. I won't take up too much time. This is the still life collection. If you don't have 3, it'll kind of screw up the demo, so I want 3. Description, we're going to manually add our products, SEO, add image. We'll grab the fruit bowl, maybe. Save that. And we will add 2 still life paintings, the flowers in the fruit bowl. And our collections should now be ready to go. So they're not on the website yet. This is some of that preliminary work that I was talking about. So they're kind of in the back end. So now we've made products. They're in the back end ready to go. They're not on the site yet. We've made collections and we've added the products to those collections. That step is now ready to go. But there's still a few more things we have to do to set up, and then we're going to start building the site. So gift cards, not really much to say about this right now, just that once you're up and running, you can send gift cards out to your, offer gift cards, I should say, to your customers. They're not like physical cards, they're like digital, and you can give them percentages off and whatnot. So customers, this is just a snapshot of your customers. We obviously don't have any yet because we didn't sell anything yet. And also because, something I forgot to show you at the beginning. Once you start up, you can sign up for what paid plan you want. So the cheapest one is $29. I would recommend that. I can still show you that in a minute. But we didn't do any of that, and we're not going to for our demonstration. So there's certain things I'm not going to be able to show you. But if you have a full plan, a paid plan, and you've started making sales, your customers would start showing up here. If you already been in the business of, say, selling face-to-face, you can add a customer manually, just to kind of add them to your inventory of customers for your store. You fill all that out. And another thing you can do is, if you happen to have an Excel spreadsheet of customers with their phone numbers and their contact information, their email address, and all that stuff, you can export that as a CSV file. That's basically what you call an Excel file when you import it in another format. And you can import that CSV file here, and you can expand on your customer base. Similarly is analytics, but this is the big picture. This is a much bigger picture than just your customer pane. This is an overview of your sales dashboard. Now, there's 2 things you can do with Shopify. We're going to show you in a minute. We mentioned it in the speaking demonstration earlier, and I'm going to show you a little bit later, if I remember, that you can very, very easily sign up for Google Analytics with this site. The Google Analytics is for the web traffic statistics component of the site, the website component, if you will. This is for your sales component. And it's really important. You're going to want to use this. So it'll give you an overview of your total sales, your online store sessions, your total orders. You're definitely going to want to use this, and you will be referring to this once you start making sales. And you can generate reports and whatnot. So I'm going to move down to marketing. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but eventually we're going to talk about marketing in some of our upcoming session. So Shopify does give you a way to add some marketing components directly into Shopify. If you scroll right down to the very, very bottom, you should have these collection of YouTube videos from the experts. And these are helpful. These guys will give you little tips on, okay, you've set up your store, you're selling products now, what can you do to help market your store? And they're just good little extra tips and advice.
My core principles of advertising. Think of these as rules that you can.
So that guy's very enthusiastic about what he has to say. So just watch these, and they're good little tips on what you can do moving forward. So for the marketing apps, now there is another section down here on apps. On all of the apps, there's any number of apps that can work with Shopify. Specifically, we have some of the marketing apps here, and there's some really good ones to help market Shopify. They kind of plug in. A good one is SMS Bump. And with that one is, if you have SMS Bump set up for your Shopify website, if that's implemented. Okay, so say for example, somebody, they fill out a shopping cart, they have all kinds of products in the cart, and they're just about ready to buy, and then they get cold feet and they abort, and they abandon the cart. It'll send out a push notification after you've made a purchase with Best Buy, and it's all said and done. Best Buy will just send another final little text out, and it'll just say, "Thank you for your purchase." So it's a nice little follow-up customer relation thing. So SMS Bump is a good one. And there are different campaigns and everything that you can run with this. We're going to get into that more later. So for discounts, create discount code. I call it a promo code. So you can basically go in, and once you're up and running, at some point you might want to add a discount code for your site. And so Paint 01, you can offer a percentage of 10% on specified products. Maybe we're going to offer this 10% product on mountain landscape, say, for example. No minimum required purchase, no minimum purchase required. It's available to everyone, but it is a limit one to customer, so maybe you might want to set that. And active date. So what you can do is you can either run it for as long as you want and then manually terminate it, or you can set it here and say, I want it to stop at the 30th of the month, and you can set that up here. So you can save that discount code, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So when you go in, you now see that we have one discount code or a promo code called Paint 01. And these are just some of the filtering options here. Filter by active, there's only one, so it shows it. None scheduled and none expired. And there's different little things you can do, like you can disable the discount codes immediately if you want, for whatever reason. Probably don't want to do that if you promised it's going to run for the duration of the month, but you can do that. And if you do disable it, then it'll show up as an expired coupon for your eyes only in this panel in your administrative end. But anyway, but what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of it. So we are going to delete discount code. Are you sure? It can't be undone. Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's go. So apps, we already spoke about apps under the marketing tab. This is just kind of, it's all the apps. There's a whole bunch of them. And this is another good one too, is product reviews. So this is like, I'm going to go with my Best Buy example again. I guess I go there a lot. So with Best Buy, if I'm buying, say, a new TV for myself, I go to the website, Best Buy website, and maybe this TV is for a cheaper price, and this TV is more expensive. Well, I might be inclined to go with the cheaper price TV, but then I might want to read the product reviews. So the cheaper one is getting 1 and 2 star reviews, and everyone's saying, it's terrible, it's not very good quality. But the one that's slightly more expensive is getting 4- and 5-star reviews, and everyone's saying, it is the best thing since sliced bread. I might be inclined to go with the higher quality television and buy that one. So it's really good, not only for your customers, could be good for you too. Maybe add something like the product review app. So that's just a little bit on that. So, and we're getting a little closer to building our store now. So online store. So this is your themes here. So if we click on themes, I mentioned at the start of the thing, is that it starts you off with the debut theme. So you can preview that. I'm not going to bother, but you can preview the debut theme. It'll show you what that one looks like. Now, one of the things we said earlier in our demonstration is we don't want to use the default theme that comes with the store because people could recognize it, and it's just, this is not as professional. So what I would recommend is you select the theme that's more unique to you. Whether you have something specific in mind or whether you're just browsing and say, I like that one, you can do that. So when you come down here, there's the Shopify theme store, or there's the free themes. Let's go with the free themes. So we'll explore free themes. And there's a lot of whole bunch of really good ones here. These ones obviously are tailored to clothing. There's a lot of them. Just browse them, find what you like. I really like this one more in terms of layout than in terms of what they were recommending as a product line. So you can click, there's different options to see what they have available. So I chose that one, but again, you can customize this and you can make it, I can make it more closely fit your brand and what it is you want to sell. Oh, so I would have clicked add this theme or whatever it said. But as you can see here, it was the venture theme. I've already done that. And then you can go in and you can customize that or you can preview it. And this is the one I'll preview because this is the one we're going to want to use. Now, right now, Shopify still thinks that we're using the debut theme, and it'll do that right until the very last tick until you publish the theme that you want to use. So that gives you the ability to play with this for a little while before you go making any commitments. So basically, yeah, so there's our website. Now, obviously, we have some things to fill in, but once we do that, it'll look pretty cool, I promise you. Now, remember I said a little earlier on, I really want to do 3 collections because it'll look better. By default, it sets you off with 3 collections. So we're going to fill those in the obvious spots. So yeah, so that's our demo there. That's our preview of our theme. What was that tab? So before I go any further with that, I was going to run down a few more of these along the side. So, and you have to anyway, because there's still a few more things that we have to set up. So blog posts, why are blogs good? You might want to add a blog section to your store. I think the Larchwood product sample guys, I think they were using a blog. Blogs are important because it gets people talking. It gets people talking about your product. It gets them interested in your product. Maybe they talk specific with the product you have to sell, or just about paintings in general. And maybe they get excited and they say, "Well, this guy's selling stuff. So I'm gonna buy something." So blogs are good, and also it opens a line of communication with your customers. Somebody's going fast. So pages is something else that we need to look at before we jump right in. So we're going to add some pages to our store. So it sets you off. So add page. It sets you off with a few default pages. I think it's like the home page, products page, and something else. There's 3 just sort of default obvious pages that it gives you. We're going to add a few more. We're going to customize it. We're going to make it more like a website. So you might want to add a page called About Us, small b. And then, of course, the content you see when you go there. We were established in 2000 and whatever. You can add photos. You can do all sort of formatting like bold, italic. Again, SEO, the same as what we said on the very, very first example. Set up your SEO. I'm going to skip that for now. And yeah, so that should be my first page. I'm going to save that. And we've now added an About Us page. The page has been added, but it's not yet added to your website. There's two ways we can do that. We can very, very quickly add it to the site's navigation here, if you want to do it the fast way, or we can add it when we go to the navigation tab, and I want to show you how to do that. So we'll do it that way. So I'm just going to create another page. This one is going to be our FAQ page, and we all know what those look like. You know, question, answer, SEO, and save, and now we have an FAQ page. Now we have a couple of extra pages that we can add to our navigation that we can add to our Shopify website when we're ready. Now, typically, I would jump down to the next tab and I would say, so let's look at navigation. There's just one more thing I want to show you. And it won't take long. And it's down in settings, and I want to show you this because it's kind of cool. So there's like 1,000,001 things here, but I just want to show you one thing. It's under the legal tab. Don't worry, it's kind of cool. Because one thing you're going to want on your website is probably a refund policy, a privacy policy, terms of service, your shipping policies. These are all kind of important. And you got to write these things. Well, what Shopify will do is, I mean, you can go online, you can search for templates, but what Shopify will do is they give you a very, very quick and dirty, you need a refund policy? Well, here's one. That's it. It's done. It'll customize it to your email address, and it saves you a lot of work. You now have a refund policy. Now, having said that, don't just hit save and run with it, because it's still really important that you read through and make sure that what they're saying, what they're recommending in their refund policy is what you want to be committed to. So make sure that what they're saying is what you are agreeing to in your refund policy. So obviously you are going to have to tweak it a little bit, but it still saves you a lot of time to do that, you know, kind of quick, and you now have a faster way of doing your refund policy. You can do the same for your terms of service and your privacy policy and everything else. I'm just going to do this one, and I'm going to save that. So essentially, Shopify likes to call that a policy as opposed to a page, but essentially it was another page. So we created another page. We did About Us, we did FAQ, and we did a refund policy. Now we're going to go into navigation, and we're going to add all those pages to our navigation, and then we're going to add them to our website. Now we did our pages and policy, and we're going to go to navigation. Okay, so if you recall the preview we did of Venture, it showed a navigation across the top, and you might have noticed there was one at the bottom. So it comes default with 2 navigations. You can add another one. I wouldn't. I think the 2 are fine. I wouldn't clutter it up with any more than that. So basically you have a footer navigation, which I think we should put in the footer. And you have a main navigation, which we will run across the top. And right now, here it is. We have the 3 default items are home, catalog, that's kind of everything, and our collections. So I'm going to click main menu, and I'm going to expand on that, and I'm going to add the pages and the policy that we created a minute ago. I hope. Okay, so we have 3 menu items. We're going to add another menu item. We're going to add, well, yeah, I guess it is a menu item, which is going to link to a page. So the menu item we're going to add is, and by the way, Shopify isn't showing me these automatically. That's just Google Chrome remembering what I had done in a previous exercise. So you would actually type out About Us. Thank you, Chrome, for remembering that. So you would type out About Us, and then it's going to say, well, where, okay, so now About Us is going to be sitting on the navigation bar. What do you want it to do? Where do you want it to go? So we're going to link that to, we can link it to a blog. We can link it to a product. We could link it to a collection. We're going to link it to a page. Okay, and the page we're going to link to is About Us, because as you recall, we just set that up a minute ago. So it now exists. So we'll add that, and that now has a new item on the menu, and it has somewhere for it to go on your website. So we'll do the same for the FAQ page. You'd actually type that out, FAQ. We want to link to another page. What page do you want to link to? Well, I don't know, FAQ sounds good. So we'll add that. And we're going to add one last one. We're going to add another menu item. We're going to add our return policy. So you would type out return policy in this space. Where do you want to link it to? Now, technically it's a page, but Shopify likes to specify that this is a policy. Right? This is when we went down into the settings and we went up and we filled out the policy with our template. So we want to link to a policy. And we can have a whole bunch of them in here. We did the refund policy. That's the only one we have to select from. So we'll select that. So our return policy link is going to link to our refund policy page. It's still basically a page. Okay, so there's our new navigation that'll appear across the top with the Shopify site. And something else I want to show you, if you want to change the order of this navigation, so right now you have home, catalog, our collections, about us. Maybe you want about us to be the first thing that shows up after home. So you can just click those little dots here on the left, and you can drag that up like that and let go. And now you have home, about us, catalog, our collections. Don't forget to save. And now our navigation should be ready. Yeah, so we have products, we have collections. We have products added to our collections. We have pages. We have a menu. We have pages added to the menu. Now we're going to plug everything in. So just to complete running down this list here, domains. We already showed you that on the home page. It's the same link. Remember, there's a quick link to domain. This is where the actual link is, and you can connect your domain. You don't have to do that right now, but eventually, please make sure you have a domain for your website. Don't go with the subdomain. Preferences. I'm just going to spend a second here. This is where you just do some extra customizing for your site. Yeah, so here it is. I promised you that I would show you this. So earlier in the demonstration, we said that you want to have Google Analytics for your website. And we mentioned that if it's a custom developed site, you may need a developer in order to go into your website code and edit that head tag, and they have to go in and add that little code snippet, that tracking ID, to turn the Google Analytics alive on your site. Well, Shopify is one of those examples where you don't need a developer. You can do it yourself. You can do it right here. So you have that code snippet. You go through the exercise we talked about earlier. You have the code snippet, little piece of code. You copy and paste into this space here, and that's it. Boom. You have Google Analytics running on your site. A bit later on, we're going to be talking about marketing, and we may or may not get into the Facebook pixel. I'm not sure at this point, but the Facebook pixel is basically it's just a little string of characters, and it's a neat little spy that that Facebook has, and you can embed it somewhere on your landing page that you have set up. You're going to set up a landing page, embed or kind of hide that Facebook pixel there. And what it can do is that watches everything that's going on that page when people finally they take their action, they land on that page, and they can see who went there. They can measure determine the demographics, what they did on the page. You know, did they make a sale? A lot of neat things you can do with the Facebook pixel, and you can enter that pixel. It's a little string of numbers, and you enter that right here in this field, and it's automatically set up with Shopify. You do that on the Facebook ad end as well. You set up a landing page, and obviously you're going to send people to your Shopify site, but you do it here. It's another option. Okay, I think that's it. I think we'll go into the theme now, and we'll start building our theme. So again, we don't want to use the default theme. We want to use our own, because I want to be me. I don't want to just go with what the store says use as a default. Oh, by the way, this disabled password, that's just another little thing that keeps people out of your site. So if by some astronomical miracle. Someone typed in the URL to your site, and they landed there even without it being disposed to the public. There's a password that's going to stop them from getting in. So it gives you time to keep tweaking your site, building it, and having it the way you want it to be before you say publish, disable the password, and then it's good to go. Okay, so we're not using debut, we're using venture. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the customize tab, and we're going to start building our website with all of the preliminary work completed, or at least most of it. Okay, so similar to our preview earlier, except now we have the ability to edit. Here is a snapshot of our website. And you notice now we have a more robust navigation. This is our about, we added that, we added our FAQ, and we added our return policy. First thing I want to show you is super quick. So on the left, you have your sections, and on the right top, you have the theme settings. So right here, I'm just going to run through these really quick. So what you can do is you can edit the color. So right now we have kind of a black and white theme going on, a color theme, color scheme. I don't know, maybe you think that's dreary, maybe you love it, but we can change the color. So maybe your brand is you use sort of a dark blue color for your brand, and you want this to look more like your visual identity. So what we can do, we can select that color, and I don't know, something like that. Let's just say that that's your closely represent your brand color, and so you can do that. So you can customize the colors, you can tweak it to more closely match your own personal visual identity. I don't like it, so I'm gonna go back the way it was. But you can do that, and you can change out the header text, the body text, the button links. All these colors are customizable in this colors tab. So typography, that's like again, referring to your brand. If there's a particular font that you use, you can change the font to be more suitable to your brand. Just don't use anything that's going to bog you down on the internet. Use the web-friendly fonts. So the collection page, that's probably not what you think it is. It's just some few minor tweaks that you can do to your collection page. I didn't find that useful. Social media, you're definitely going to use. So if you look down here, it says follow us, and it doesn't have anything. So what you can do is you can go to the social media tab under your right section, and you can add your Facebook page where it says Facebook. So you type, facebook.com. It would be facebook.com/ whatever it is your Facebook page is. And you can do the same for Twitter and everything. So when you look down now, you see that the F is now there for follow us on Facebook. And you can do the same for Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, all of them. Okay, so you're going to want to do that. So there's a neat little option for adding a favicon. That's like favicon, I think it's favicon. That's, okay, you know, like in your web browser, there are tabs. There are different tabs you have open. And up in the top, there's that wee little graphic that's kind of indicative that represents your site. That's your favicon. If you have that ready, you can navigate on your computer, and you can upload it here. So this would be where you would upload it. And I already have some images preloaded because I've already gone through the exercise, so I already have a media library established. I don't have a favicon, but if I did, I'd put it in there. That's where you would do that. So, and then the checkout, you can customize the checkout as well. I'm not going to get into that because I didn't sign up for a paid plan. I'm not able to show you that anyway. But this is where you can add different images and customize how you want your checkout to look. That was the theme section. Now over on the left, I'm going to go back to the sections. So what the sections are how the sections are the sections. So if you run down the list here, you have header, slide, collection list, something they call image with text. I can add one, and they have the footer. And if you follow along next to that, you can see the header, and this is your header. The slide, this would be your slide. Collection list, below that right here. The image with text is right here. I can add one, and the footer is at the very bottom. And what I want to show you before I get into it is I can change the order of this just like I could change my menu. So if I wanted, say, that image with text to appear above my collection list, I'd grab those little dots and I'd slide that up like that. And then lo and behold, beneath my slideshow, which is here, I have this image with text. It's just sort of a little intro to something you might want to show somebody quick. And then I have my collections underneath. I don't want to do that, but I just want to show you that you can do that. It's an option. So I'm going to put that back down here. Okay, so yeah, I guess we can start filling this in. So I'll start with the header. So right now we have the name of our store, VMP Demo. If we click Select Image, we would upload a logo that we have ready for our store. I've already done, you know, like I said, gone through the exercise. So I have a logo ready. That's our company logo. I'm just going to use that as a demonstration. So, so I would select that, and I can change, edit, or remove it here. I can change the size of it. I like it just the way it is, so I'm going to leave it at 300 pixels. I'm going to leave the menu as the main menu because we didn't make any other menus, and I don't want to put the footer menu in there. That doesn't make any sense. So main menu, so we'll leave that. Announcement bar. This is kind of neat. I think you can select that, and it's going to add this extra little bar of information. And you might want to say new products. It doesn't say that by default. I must have left that in. We say new products arriving soon. And you can link that to something. So right now it's being linked to all products. I can get rid of that. I can link it to my blogs. It doesn't make sense, does it? But I mean, I'm just showing you that you could. You can link it to any page that you want. You can link it to any images. Because I'm saying new products arriving soon, I'm just going to link to my products. I can pick one specific, but I'm just going to say all products. I'm just going to go right up to the page that shows us everything, the whole catalog. Okay, so that's it for the header, I believe. Now we'll move on to the slideshow. Yeah, so what you can do is there's a few options. You can go with a small slideshow. You can go with a larger one, a larger image that you see there with the handbag and everything. Or you can choose this one, adapt to the first image. So that's like I think that's like if you don't want to preset all of your images in a photo editing software like Photoshop, which I did, you can select that and it'll judge by the first image. It'll make all the other ones kind of fit the same size. I'm just going to leave it small. Mine are all preset. You can auto rotate the slide, so you know that's like with your iPad you can shuffle music or you can play it in order. This will shuffle them up. We'll just leave it go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this changes how long it's going to linger on each slide. So by default, it stays on for 3 seconds, and you can bump it up as high as 9 seconds. So you can do that. Then you can change the image you probably want to do. Even though that's a nice little drawing, we want to go select image. And here's where we're going to upload an image. It's going to navigate somewhere on the computer and find the image we want to use. I've already done that, so it's already in my media library. I'm just going to choose this one. It's just an example. Middle center, yeah, that's fine. This is something you can do if you want. I don't love this, but you can put a little something there, and you can see that should show up in a minute. So you can have some sort of little text description there. Not a fan myself, but maybe you could think of a good use for that. And you can have a button label. So right now, what it's going to do is it's going to give you the before and next button, so you can you know, cycle through. Another thing you can do, you can add a button label. So I'm going to add a button label called View All Products, something I already had set in there. And you can make that link out to whatever you want. So again, because I'm saying View All Products, I'm just going to make it link to all products. So I could choose blogs, whatever. Well, obviously I want products, and I want all products as opposed to one specific. It depends. I could have said, click here to go to, the lady painting, and then I would have linked to that. So there's my button. Now when I click that, it's going to jump right out to my products page, which is the same as that little thing here is going to do. So maybe you might want to do something different there. You don't want to kill that, but that's, these are just options of the different things that you can do. So we'll move down to the next one. You can close that, so there's less clutter in front of you. Expand on this one, and we're going to add a second slide. This one, save again. You typically would upload that. Change, edit, remove, middle center. Yeah, I don't particularly like that, but and you can add another button here if you want to link out to something else, or just leave the slideshow. And yeah, so that's our slideshow ready. Oh, and I can add another one. So add another slide so there can be 3 or 4 or 5. I wouldn't put too many, because if you put too many slides in there, people are just not going to see them, because you wouldn't stay that long on the home page, and you really don't want them to. You want them to get to the shopping cart and or the products page and start buying stuff. So our collection list. So this is these 3 items here, and this is why I wanted to set up 3 in our little preliminary exercise. So I'll just do this quick. So select collection. Hopefully you remember that I set up 3 collections earlier. Shopify remembers that. It's in my administrative panel here. Here they are. I set up the still life collection, the portrait, and the landscape. So I'll grab one of them. I'll grab the still life collection. I don't have to assign pages because I've already done that. Select that one. Go to the second one. Grab it. I'll grab the portrait one. Select that one. Go to the third one. This is the landscape. Grab that one. And there's a little bit of preliminary work involved, but this part went pretty quick. There you go. Our portrait, our collections are now added to our site. Oh, something else I should tell you too. You can just do this along the way, and then you sort of hit that little back button there and go back to your main panel list. But probably a good idea over here on the right is to just save that every now and then. Because if you accidentally hit this Shopify little shopping bag icon there, now it will warn you. It'll say you're going to lose everything. So that's a good warning. But if somehow you still bypass that warning and you hit that, everything can be gone. So it's a good idea to just hit this little save button along the way to keep things saved. So image with text. Yeah, so basically you can put something in here as your image. I'm just going to use this one. Again, you would upload it, but I'm just going to use that for my media library. Change, edit, remove. So for the text, what did I say for that? I got notes here. Which I barely used, but yeah, so you might want to say something like, I'm going to cheat because I don't like typing. So for a heading, might be a browse our collection of beautiful portraits. So you would type that in there. And then this is your description. So here you might want to say something like, please check out, I know I'm spelling it wrong. Please check out my latest portrait here. I'm a terrible typer. And what you can do there, and I would put more than that. You can put as many paragraphs as you want. But what you can do in this case is you can highlight the word here, and you can click this. It looks like a chain, chain link. You can hit this chain button, which is a link icon, and you can send people out to your latest portrait because you may want to specifically promote that here. So you can go In this case, it would be a product. It would not be all product. We're asking them to go check out my latest painting. So I would click just that picture or just that image, I guess, and the link is now ready. So we have a little cover, browse our collection of beautiful portraits. Please check out my latest portrait here. Obviously a hypertext link, and when I click that, I'm going to go and I'm going to find the picture that I want to promote right now and hopefully sell for a whole bunch of money. Other things too, you can add content, so that'll add another little blurb here. It's just an option. I find it's too cluttery. I wouldn't do that. I would just keep it with the one. But again, I'm just showing you that there are more options with that as well. So I can bounce back out, or I can remember to save. Hit the save button. All right, now I'll bounce back out. And yeah, so it's really come along. It's really starting to fill in now. So the one more thing I'm going to show you then is the how you can add an extra section. And there's a lot. There's a lot here that you can do. There's a lot you can add. So when I click this, it's going to add to my homepage blog posts and all kinds of different things in my gallery and newsletters and testimony. Just 100 things you can click to. Probably likely a source of page information. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, say, for example, you did have a physical store and you wanted to put that, you know how sometimes you can go to a website and directions to my store and a Google map will come up and it'll drop a pin and show where store is on a Google map. Well, we can do that, and we're going to do that for a demonstration. So I'm going to hit map, and by default, it added a new mapping section, and you can customize that. So I'm going to add it first. So it says our store. You can change that to be whatever you want. My store. What did I call this? Starting out, Kevin's Fine Arts. I mean, so you would put the name of your store here. 123 Fake Store, obviously, is a default, and you fix all that up. You put the actual physical address in here. I think I already have it. Someone's kind enough to remember, 319 Charlotte Street in Sydney, Nova Scotia. That should find us. For your map link, the word directions works well as any other words, or find us if you want, or whatever. I think directions works. Yes, let's show the pin for that. And let's just put an image up there so that we don't have the, that's big, so that we don't have the sketch that's currently there by default. So, you know what? I'm just gonna grab this. It's just an example. Just to show you that you can put a real picture there. So I'm going to save that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think I've done everything I'm going to do. So, okay, well, there's the footer. That just shows you that you can edit the footer menu. We can make some changes there. And it was actually under the other tab where you can add the other social media, so Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, under the themes tabs. And you can change that. So right now it says follow us. You can change that to, I mean, it's pretty much what you would say, something like that. Okay, that's all we're going to get into with the footer. So yeah, so our website is, now of course there's still the backend component with the shopping cart and everything. I'm not going to get into that, and I can't show you that anyway because we don't have a paid subscription. Okay, so, oh, it's not ready yet. So I'm going to jump back out. I believe I showed you everything. I probably forgot one or two things, but again, this is just, it's just a quick, just to kind of show you some of the things that you can do. So we're back on our main panel of our dashboard now. I wish Shopify was faster today. Anyway, it may just be our internet connection today. Okay, so we're back out to our main thing, and we're going to walk you through. Yeah, so we talked about disabling the theme until you're ready. The one thing I forgot to do is when I started off, this is our home panel with the 3 quick links for domains, customizing the theme, and adding our first product, which we did a long time ago. This is where you would select your plan, and I probably starting out would recommend the $29 plan, because we just want to start out small. There's only so many things that you need, but you can go up as high as the $299 plan. Check these out yourself, go through them, and find out what it is that you need for your particular situation. Because I'm just doing a demonstration thing, I don't have any paid plan. That's where you would do that. So I'm going to go back down to our themes. Oh, sorry, online store. So we chose the venture theme. Now we're going to preview that. We're going to preview our theme and hope that everything works. So if somebody goes to your website, they're going to see, oh, it's got a nice, nice branding there. Got your home, your company's, your store's logo. It's also linked to your home page. You can go to About Us here. You can go to the catalog, which is all of the products you have for sale. And oh, look at that. Our mountain landscape, which we were particularly proud of earlier on. I'm going to check this out. It's on sale. It's regularly, the artist wanted $200. Remember, I'm not the artist now. Now I'm the buyer. I'm the point of view that I'm here, and I'm going to buy things. Regularly it was $200. It's on for $100. So I might want to check that out. So it says view. I can go in and I can take a larger look at that. Typically we would have more than one image. I just put in one for demonstration, but you might want pictures of it hanging on the wall in different angles. I can add that to my cart. Okay, quantity, there's only one. So you can't add 2 or 3 or 4 in this case. If you had more, you could. We only want one. So we're going to add that to our cart. I don't know if I took that or not. Oh, add it to cart. Maybe it did. So we click on the little shopping cart. And okay, I must have added this in a previous walkthrough that I did for myself. So, but again, as a buyer, I can add or remove any product I want. So this mountain landscape has been added to my shopping cart. I'm sure we've all been on eBay and stuff like that. It all kind of works on the same principle. And now I can move on and view the shopping cart, or at least what I'm looking for is, there we go, buy it now. If we're ready to make the purchase, and something went wrong. Nothing's wrong, it's just I didn't set up for a plan, so I don't have that option. But that is where the person would now go into the final stage where they would enter their purchasing information, and they would be told what their shipping options are, and they would buy the product. So that's the catalog. Our collections is a link specifically to our 3 collections. So if I click any one of these, like if I click the Still Life collection, view all, I just see our 2 still life paintings. And again, if I like fruit bowl, I can click that and repeat the process. Add to cart or buy it now. There we go. And I could purchase this product. A new product's arriving soon. You remember we put that little banner in as this kind of a little quick thing. So that takes us back to our products. FAQ is our questions and answers. So first question, gives you all the questions and answers that we put in earlier. It's good for shoppers to have an idea. They want to trust your store, so they want to have some quick question and answers before they go too far in. I always go to an FAQ section when I'm on the website. I want to know more about them before I start maybe asking questions. And the return policy, that's the template that we filled out earlier. Again, make sure, don't just use the template, it's great, but make sure you customize it to be a little more what it is you actually want to say here. And so I'm going to go back home. I can do that here, or I can do that here. And there's slideshow. And on the first slide, remember we had that button? You remember that? Well, that's going to take us to our products. We'll go home again. Again, the collections, I've already showed you that. You can click these and it'll take you to the breakdown of the products that were categorized by the collections. We just did that a minute ago under a different tab. So this is just kind of something I want to draw this to people's attentions. Browser people portraits, and maybe I want to say, check out my latest portrait here. I really want to promote that because this is pretty cool. So I want you to buy it. So you can do that. And yeah, that's it. And oh yeah, well, and then there's the map. So you can visit me. And maybe this is not really applicable to us because maybe we're just selling online and we don't have a store. But I just want to show you. I just want to show that there's so many things that you can do with Shopify. And there's so much you can add in. I just thought this was a neat thing to show you. Like, I mean, how easy was it? I typed out 319 Charlotte Street, and there's my pin. There I am, right there. I'm in downtown Sydney, and there's my Google map. So now you can find me. If I want you to, maybe I don't. But again, it's just an option. And follow us on Facebook. And if you click that, it would go to my Facebook page. That's not going to work because I didn't put in a reality Facebook link. I put in something bogus. But that, yeah. So I believe, folks, that is everything I'm going to show you on our Shopify walkthrough. Again, like Sean mentioned, and like I mentioned, you know, I covered 1 billion and one things here, and I went through it kind of fast. And I know you're probably watching and say, you know, well, you know, this is kind of overwhelming. You know, it went kind of quick for me. Again, I always tell clients this when I'm training them. Someone can show you something 100 times, but it's not until you sit down, crack your knuckles, roll up your sleeves, and you get into it yourself and you actually try building things, that's when it's going to start sinking in, and that's when you're going to remember how to do the steps. When you watch somebody, it's a great help. When you start doing it, that's when it really sinks in, and that's when you can remember how to do it. And you're going to find Shopify is a really easy way to go. Squarespace is also easy. So is Wix. If you have a WordPress site, WooCommerce is great. The one thing at WooCommerce, it's a little more technical. There's a little bit more in there for developers, but even that, compared to some of the other high technical sites out there, WooCommerce is kind of easy. So, so that's the walkthrough. Okay, so just for a quick recap of what we covered during today's sessions, we talked about the key components for any standard website. We talked about the importance of following up any website builds with Google Analytics. We looked at the components which make up an e-commerce website. We talked about planning our business and preparing our products for sale. We looked at selecting the e-commerce platform that's right for you. And we looked at some of the artist success stories that they've had in selling the products online. And then, of course, we did the live walkthrough with Shopify.